Hey Colby, welcome to your demo review. This one's from Premiere, as you have sent the raw demo file to me. You didn't give me any focus points or any background to what I should be looking at, or what do you want me to focus on mainly. So we will use this as a kind of a general overview and see how we can piece things together throughout the demo, right? So this is ancient. I had to downgrade the game, but I think we're pretty okay to start this out. Colby. Alright. So I'm not sure if this is like a solo queue game or you have some pre-mades in here. It's besides the point. We'll be mostly focusing on you, so whenever you die, I will just fast forward around. We don't really care about others or how things are looking up on that. This looks like a B-Rush, and you bought as a first spawn utility to potentially like probably put off the molly, which by the way is absolutely insane that the cities are buying molly on the first round. Look how poorly they threw it. You can all just run this way and take 0 damage. So that is ridiculous. Why I think your buy is questionable is that you're rushing. You know you're going to be first, and you do not have Kevlar, okay? That is pretty scuffed in my opinion. You're going to be very easy target, and you will most likely die very, very early. Also, the aim punch is going to be just ridiculous. One thing is that if you really want to do this thing and you really want to rush, I suggest that one of your teammates will just drop you the smoke, and you get to full rush in with a Kevlar to take as much space as possible, because ultimately on the rushes that is the most important thing. So you're somehow running into a full stack B. Okay, 4 players are just ready for you. It's kind of crazy, but you do have a first engagement here, and if you're having that kind of an engagement, I think it's completely fine if you just stop and try to take some duels. So I understand why you're not taking too much space here. I already see kind of like a first micro mistake is that here, after getting this kill and getting a kill on short, you assume correctly that the next danger is going to be probably from long. That's the next thing that you're going to be open with. However, this is a common mistake. Whenever you have like these long swipes in chaotic situations, look how you're going to get yourself ready for that duel, right? You are basically, you want to like flick just 90 degrees and look towards long, but you overflick so hard that you're aiming essentially at nothing, and that is fine. Sometimes it happens when like you have like bad tension in the mouse hand or whatever. It just sometimes happens. You can correct it, right? No one is peeking you right now, so you can just correct it and peek properly. However, you're peeking as you're doing this kind of overswipe or overflick, and now you're running basically into the open, hurrying up, and you're just unable to even get a good duel. Okay, so it looks like this. I will try to slow it down actually here for you, so you know how kind of ridiculous this looks. So gets a kill, overflick, and now instead of just adjusting your crosshair here and peeking, you start peeking before the crosshair even moves, right? So you can see like still crosshair is in the wall. You're already peeking the most dangerous angle, which is, okay, right now, accidentally City is actually peeking you from that angle, but that is your next clear. Look at your crosshair, right? It's not nowhere close. Now it becomes close, but you're getting like already peaked, and you kind of panic, and you lose that. So, pretty important thing to note is that this is quite common amongst, not younger players, but like newer players, that when they have to adjust, let's say even 180s, okay, like complete turn, you see when a player is not familiar with their settings. You see how they constantly, like whenever they swipe, it's either going up into the sky or down into the ground, or maybe they just don't go fast enough and they just get stuck mid-swipe, or sometimes they overflick like you did in this case, right? Other than that, we obviously lost that round, and we are having a little deagle action again towards B. Okay, asking for a boost, so kind of this is fine. Peeking long like that is not fine, and this hold is just not fine either. Like, look how easy target you are. Like, you need to move in this game, okay? CS2, always jiggle and always don't be in the open. funnily enough, right now, if someone picks you, you're in the open. Like, you can't make it behind this wall, which is your only safe haven, and you're gonna get melted without the Kevlar. Plus, your crosshair, look where you're aiming. Like, this is not even headshot level. Like, it is headshot duel, but it's on the headshot duel if CTs are going, like, here. Which I don't think you want to, right? You want to peek this angle, the close one. And even if CT peeks, look where you're aiming. This is your crosshair, this is it. So you're aiming at the body. You're always going to be at disadvantage, right? So another thing is this peek. Like, it's not even a good pre-aim because you just crouch into it and you stay static and you just hold. You see the smoke coming, makes you lose focus a little bit, but the CT actually peeked before the smoke blooms and he just deletes you because you're a very easy target. Okay, from his POV. Okay, it's actually very hard for me to pinpoint exact moment before the smoke blooms, but you're just static. You're not jiggling. All right, we do have a smoke. You don't know insta smokes. That is completely fine. I think this one will hit. However, that flash is. We have to talk about it. Okay, so what's the point of mid flashes, right? To take middle. When someone is going out middle, you want to support them with the flashes that pop like here or behind them. You just blind everyone and they're fighting mid. Sometimes you want to use that for fake as well. Sometimes you want to throw the combo of smoke and flashes to scare CTs away from playing close despite not even fighting for it. However, what you're doing right now is that you're throwing these flashes 150. You're going to explode 148. Look where these CTs are when these flashes are popping. First one, the guy is not even affected. You should be throwing these flashes like 146, okay? Even the second flash, it didn't blind anyone. Like, you're just wasting these flashes because you are throwing them too early, okay? They're not going to be blinding anyone. And you have actually a pretty good timing to go through the smoke, which I love. And I don't love the way you take this tool. Let me explain why. So here you make it, you create a timing for yourself, right? You beat the smoke and CT is probably going to clear this, okay? So he's going to be aiming at where he smoked. However, because there's extra smoke here on the right, and this is kind of like pretty advanced, but I'm going to mention it anyway. You want to just take a very confident strafe duel with this guy. You don't want to like keep going forward and clear because you're most likely the one being cleared by the CT, right? That's why he smoked. So he can, that's why they're smoking elbow so they can clear like close positions. Obviously there's another smoke like somewhere here. So what you can do is use this smoke in your advantage. How? You strafe into it, okay? So you see this like space between the smoke and the wall where the duel is going to happen. You can actually overstrafe into the smoke and then find out where the CT is and then peek back into him, okay? So what you're doing here is that you're kind of like chopping the angle, which is not necessary. You know that CT is going to be somewhere there, and you're just taking unnecessary gamble by chopping these angles, okay? This was the first chop, and this was the second chop, and guess where the CT is? He's already crossed through. If you just wide peek, excuse me, if you just wide peek and even get yourself like through this line of sight into the smoke that you will eventually use like a cover, you can shoot that CT back through that smoke because you, on the swing, you spot where he is. So you can visualize where he is if there would be no smoke, right? So here you're playing exactly in this gap where the CT is 100% going to work, watch, right? All he has to care about is this space because that's where he has a vision. However, if you would overstrafe his field of vision into the smoke, that's when you are in advantage. You see how easy it is from his POV? You just walk into his crosshair because that's literally the only thing that he has to hold. So we have already a first thing about flashes, the timing, and then about the way how you approach this fight is fundamentally not correct, okay? You could have easily anticipated that duel because you saw that the smoke is coming and you know that the CTs are most likely going to fight over middle because of that smoke and they're going to be clearing things properly. When they're going to be clearing you, you have to counter-clear them, so to speak, by swinging wide and making sure that you are the one peeking them, not you being peeked. That's the English word I was looking for. All right, let's move forward. 3-0. All right, you do have Mac 10, no Kevlar, and you're smoking cave. Was that a W jump throw? Because if yes, I think that is going to, well, yeah, that is a failed smoke. My suspicion was correct. You don't have a Kevlar. How are you going to play? Listen, if you're going to be buying like this and you want to keep some money or you don't want a full buy, get a Deagle and a Kevlar. Get a Tech 9 and Kevlar. Tech 9 with Kevlar is way better combo, cheaper. Well, it's not technically cheaper, but it's way better combo than buying a Mac 10 and no Kevlar. Because what's the point of having these guns? Close quarter combat. You want to close the distance. Without Kevlar, good luck doing that, okay? You're going to be naded to hell, and every single bullet that is going to hit you is going to send your aim punch into oblivion. You're going to be slowed. You're going to have a tough time, okay? Tech 9 and Kevlar is going to be way more beneficial in the long run. Okay, you got smoked while your teammates are actually working cave. This is very good, because if they're going to be taking this duel, which they will, and get a kill, this presents a nice opportunity, which is you to make a play and to walk through exactly what you're doing. This is great. The great round from you. No questions, okay? No questions, my owner, and or your owner, or whatever it's called. And I'm happy with it. The only thing is that you had a C4 and could have backfired, but you took the timing, and I understand why you took the timing, and it was a correct timing to take. Okay? From your individual POV, that was good. From macro POV and team level, maybe risky, because you could have lost the C4, and you didn't really need to do it, so to speak, before your teammates from cave take next contact. However, this was a play that worked out, and I love seeing that. I love seeing that. So I'm not going to say anything bad about it, okay? Let's see. Probably... you still don't have Kevlar, by the way, which is absolutely wild to me. Alright, get into the corner. Not that. Okay, that corner. Smoke. Alright, this is, I think, is still going to fail. Maybe it will end up... Yeah, it will spread down, probably. Yeah, but still, this is not the smoke that you want to use. If you want to get into that corner, just aim at the tip of the building and just jump through it. It's going to be way better and way more consistent. Where are we? Corner. Okay, there's one corner. And aim at the tip of the building here, and then just jump through. It's going to be better. Alright, not having a Kevlar here, you still can use your own smoke, which, by the way, you see right now that it failed. Oh, this is gonna be rough. Yeah, the only reason why I lost that duel, by the way, is that you do not have Kevlar. And it was, you legit melted in 3 bullets, so... Yeah, I think that was the biggest mistake. Alright, you have a pretty good spawn. Let's see how we're going to be using that. Please, whenever... I noticed this couple of rounds already, but when you're exiting spawn, why are you running with a smoke or grenade in hand? Just take the knife, be the fastest as possible, okay? With knife, you have 250 velocity. With grenades, you have 245, which is just 5 lower. It looks like it's negligible, right? However, you really want to maximize things, and these 5 units might mean that if you're going to be rushing out mid, it might mean 1 extra tick of molo that you're going to be taking. And that tick of molo can be, I don't know, a couple points of damage, which can be ultimately the reason why you survive M4 dink over not surviving M4 dink, right? So, knife in the hand. Okay, you're running out. If you're going to be using these underhand grenades, please, 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 use them with the right button, not the left click. It's much more easier to control where you want this smoke to end, and it's also the velocity of the smoke is slower, so you can like fine-tune it, okay, where you exactly want it, and the bounces are a little bit less random, so it's also good. However, I like the play, okay, just underhand the smoke. Underhanding meaning right click, not left click, into the ground, right click, okay? It's way more consistent and faster for you. Alright, this is ugly duel, which you will eventually win anyway. Alright, getting here, I definitely need... Yeah, this is good molly. This is great. Alright, waiting for your teammate to kind of get into the thick of the action. Here, molly first, okay? Do not smoke first. You have to molly first, get the bomb down, and then smoke. That's the chain of orders, because if you smoke here and your teammates decide to... Okay, look at this guy. Taking temple immediately. Look at... If this guy decides to take temple as well, someone will push that smoke, and he will kill you, and you do not get the bomb plant, right? It might sound stupid, but there is a chance that some stupid city will do that. However, if you molly there, no one will go through. And you had a molly because you picked it up. You picked it up in the donut, right? Here. From this guy. You will just now round over it. Boom. You have a molly. Now molly first. That's way safer than smoking and planting. Alright, they're saving. We die actually to the bomb, so pretty bad. Obviously, you would have survived if you go up heaven. Alright. Don't really know. I'm not really sure what we're doing here. Okay, just grouping up with your teammate, pairing up with him. Alright, you took so much space here, by the way. This is insane. It was very risky. If someone would have been in the cave, I think you're pretty much dead, because the way you're clearing cave corners is just very like lazy. But I understand you probably want to play a little bit faster, and you know it's Premiere after all. But just take your time. Like, your aim is okay, I would say, for your level. So just take your time and clear things properly. All right, getting one kill here. You definitely want to use your grenades. You can bounce a short smoke like this. You can definitely smoke long like this, but I think your teammate is actually already smoking. Yeah, this is a short smoke, so you can smoke easily long without doing this, without revealing yourself. Okay, I want you to just wait a little bit, and then you can like take a peek. You don't see anyone, so take a smoke, and literally all you have to do is to throw the grenade here. Here is the smoke, which will cover the whole long. If you're going to be again like trying to throw like this and throw it here, someone will just push it on the timing and kill you. But it's way less likely that they will be pushing the smoke that is exploding literally here, okay? In this. Because if they have to push, look where they have to look, okay? This is all the angles that they have to look. But if they're only pushing this one, they're using this wall as a cover. So they only have to focus on like here, which is comfortable for them, right? Right, running pretty fast. Again, same starter. Or like, okay, I don't like this against pistols. That was way too risky. You get a little bit scared by that. I guess you're surviving. The rest of your teammates are playing, planting the bomb on A. Here, I like the smoke. Just hide in it. Honestly, hide in it and just wait for 20 seconds for it to fade. Because if you're going to be dying in those 20 seconds still, you secure the round. However, if you die right now, like this, you're giving them a chance to actually go for the round. It's 2v2. Yes, your teammates are still most likely going to win this, but you get the point, right? At that point, you just want to play time, and perfectly playing time inside of the smoke. Very good. Alright, knife in the hand, running out. Okay, your teammate kind of fumbled the smoke. You're eating full HE damage. Okay, that was pretty unfortunate. You ate 2 HEs there for 70 damage. Then it took 1 bullet to kill you. I think it wasn't that big of a deal. I mean, your teammates actually cleared up whole middle, and they took a lot of space. You were there to trade, but ultimately you were the one dying first, which I don't think there's any like clear mistake that we need to go over. We'll see if it keeps repeating. Alright, we have AK Kevlar. We actually... You won that round. But it didn't ask for a drop. Okay, it doesn't matter. Okay, a lot of space taken again. And this is kind of unfortunate, the way... It feels like you're just way too fast. Like you're holding W and you want to take the zone as fast as possible, and you are going to do anything in your power to take it. You're not even clearing things properly. Like, look at this, okay? You're not even, like, actually clearing, because... Okay, maybe I overcooked it a little bit here. Look at your crosshair. From this point now on. In the wall, in the wall. Okay, good. In the wall, good. Good, good, good. In the wall. Wall, 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 wall. Good. You know, like... You're like... Just, I understand if you want to, like, pre-aim things, and you strafe and pre-aim, but you're, like, running and... just chasing your crosshair glued to the wall, which is separating you and potential next duel. You're not... It looks like you're ready for it, but you're not. And then the actual duel as well. Let's look at that. I think you were just honestly not ready, because your crosshair was actually pretty good, but as soon as it came down to shooting, you flicked away from the enemy. Or am I crazy? You see? Like, it started pretty well, and then you get like kind of like startled, and boom, look where your crosshair is right now. Obviously, you didn't have any nades, so I'm not gonna comment on like utility usage. They could have had nades if you asked for a drop. Okay, again, you have plan in your head, good spawn. Let's see how it goes. So running out of the spawn. Why are we pulling smoke away? I mean, knife away into the smoke. Again, right click is going to be way more better for you, okay? Because now the smoke is not even putting out this molly. You will use it probably as your cover in your upcoming duel, but why not use it as a cover plus deny the molly? Okay, plus you have a C4, by the way. You're doing something absolutely crazy with the C4 at on your back. I don't like that. That's another thing that I just really noticed. So please, when you're doing these aggressive moves, taking cave, taking middle, drop that bomb, okay? Luckily, your your enemies, they don't really know the timings of middle, and you're catching them off guard all the time. So luckily, it's pretty easy for you. But here, you don't have any bullets, you're spamming away, you're fully blind, but you still have your smoke in front of you. Use it as a cover one more time, okay? To reload and not be an easy target. Because right now, you're like running out of the smoke and you're just dying for no reason because you can't shoot back. You can use that smoke as your safe haven because, yes, you might get spammed in it, but it's way less likely than just being killed outright in a duel that is not even a duel because you're reloading, right? Alright, last round of the half. I think this will, yeah, this will go into overtime. Alright, let's see how this goes. Another B start. Okay, together with your probably mate. Oh, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. But your teammates took B side completely, which is crazy good. They had to go back though. I thought they had it, but not really. Okay, another smoke for short. I like it. Peek long. I mean, you're again not clearing things. You see how you skip the most obvious angle? Look, look, like this is the most obvious angle you should be worried about, right? Where your crosshair is again. Could have easily died there. Could have. Okay, it didn't happen, and maybe I'm over analyzing this, but I have to tell you, like the way you skip angles is actually very dangerous, and that's a lot of the times why people are inconsistent in this game, by the way. Because some games, you're not going to get punished. No one is going to be in those angles, and no one is there to kill you, right? Everything's good. You're killing. You're playing pretty well on the scoreboard. You know, your KD is pretty good. But then there are going to be games where people are actually standing in these angles, and they're going to be killing you for free. And then you wonder why you're, like, having such a bad game. Well, in reality, you're playing the exact same way. It's just right now, there are people to punish you. Maybe due to them being better, maybe due to just unfortunately them being in the right position at the right time. It doesn't really matter, but if you would be clearing these things properly, it brings consistency because you have like a flow of doing things, right? Whenever you're peeking out of cave, you know that you have to clear this first, then you're going to be clearing this wall, and then you're going to be clearing this corner. Alright, your teammates are actually catching up, but they need to take space. Great, this is, by the way, great awareness for checking behind. This is great awareness because you have literally nothing to do. Your teammates have to cross themselves. You have no way to help them. So you might as well just look behind a little bit. This was great. Okay, your teammates both died, which is crazy. And then you're getting like a... you see, right now you're like doing AD, but your crosshair is actually stuck in the same position. You're like AD-ing, but your mouse is not moving to compensate for that AD. Look, again, crosshair in the wall. Oh, in the wall. Right now, so close to the wall, you don't even have a chance to react, okay? Just give yourself some more leeway. Unglue your crosshair away from the wall that is separating you and the duel. That is, so far, the biggest takeaway of this demo, of this half, okay? You wanna, like, move to the right. If you're moving to the left in the AD jiggle, that's when you have to overcompensate and move your mouse to the right, right? Because you don't want to aim at the wall. Like, the wall is not going to be the one peeking you. And puts you in a bad position to react to these swings. Obviously, you were in a huge disadvantage anyway, and you would have most likely lost it even with perfect micro that I'm talking about. But you get the point. You get the point, right? You're just AD-ADing, but your mouse is literally like AFK. Like, you might as well have a like hand like this and not touch the mouse, because you're not doing like left and right to overcompensate for the AD-AD. Alright, I will say it like this. Do not buy mollies on CT side pistol. Ever. I see so many people in Facey do it on lower levels in Premiere. There's a reason why pros don't do it and good players don't do it. This grenade is just way too expensive for what it does on pistol round. Okay? Everyone will just rush through it. It does no damage. It's a bad spread. It is just like freaking couple seconds, right? It's better to have HE, honestly, if you want to counter the rushes, but mollies are not it. On CD side. On D side, there's some use cases, and obviously you want to do executes and you want to clear position. Sometimes you want to, sometimes you want to save the molly for the after plant and just molly the bomb and win the round that way. Okay, at least you added, like, they didn't want to rush anyway, but at least you had the lineup. However, it's just wasted 500. 500 in a pistol round is so much. Kits is going to be much better to use. Alright, let's see how this goes. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think you expected him to be that close, which is you're just going to get melted again. Once again, it's because you do not have Kevlars. He hits you 3 times, 4 times. By the way, you died in a 4 Glock shots. None of them was a headshot, obviously. But if you would have Kevlar, you're surviving like 3 extra shots. You're buying yourself more time. Like, if you're in these lower levels, I urge you, buy armors on pistol rounds. Alright, Deagle with a mid swing. Yeah, that was kind of like Hail Mary play, I would say, but we're like way in the open again. I mean, it's really hard to have any cover here, but I think this is generally a bad peak. Like, going up on this box immediately at the start, if good terrorists are always going to wait you like this, and they're going to be always an advantage because you're mid-air slightly, and you're inaccurate for a moment, right? And you cannot just shoot. Obviously, if you get like, if you can jump like here, then this duel is a little bit better because you control the timing of the peak, and you're always like on the ground, so you're fully accurate. But if you're jumping up on this box and they spot you, and then you're jumping up on this box and they spot you, then it's very easy frag for them because they're literally like aiming either here on the cave or down there. Which is, look how close it is, right? It's very easy to. Okay, this HE is also a little bit, this is exactly the same thing. Like, the only reason why you're winning this duel is because these Ts are unaware. This HE, not good, it's way too early. Look where it explodes and look where they are. Okay, explodes here. They were here when it exploded. Makes no sense at all. And then when you go up, the only reason why this guy doesn't kill you is because he's busy with throwing some grenades, dodging his own flash. It's not good peak. It's not good peak, honestly. You're winning this round though. Some crazy stuff happened and they all died within seconds. Alright. Alright, immediately giving up the first room control. What I would suggest is that you have like a lineup for a molly that goes like this, okay? And burns in the highway. You will deal a lot of damage on lower levels, and it's pretty much a must-know molly, essential molly on a CT side. Ancient. I like what you're doing though here. This jiggling AD-AD. Now look how the distance from the wall is. It's way greater than in the previous example on T side, which we discussed, right? The last round of T side. Way easier to react to this. Yes, AD-AD, constantly in the movement. Easier to react to this as well. Okay, now he's like kind of trolling with the jiggle peaks. It's hard to hit it. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. He's completely stuck. Okay, best ace point. Running into A. Perfect. Perfect. Pre-aim. It was directly on his head. You just absolutely destroyed him. Easy entry frag. I don't know what you're doing here. But the round is effectively over anyway. Okay, last guy just got killed. Come on. He just got a kill here. Take space. Get into A main. From A main, you can cover whole A site. You can, you know, do something. You don't need to just sit on side until the round ends. You're giving him way too much space. However, he's not going to get away, so it doesn't really matter. But, you know, as soon as you have info about the last guy, move closer to him or move to some OP position. In this case, amen. Maybe donut. Maybe to spot for this cross, right? Because if you are just stuck here, the terrorist could easily go like this to CT. Because your teammate is going to be worried about B side, you're worried about A side. And he can create timings and flank you or your teammate. Again, running with the molly in hand all the time. Giving up this whole control of the first room. Look how T's are just taking it without any duels, without any problems. And now because of that, he has the first room. You're focused on B side because they're rushing and your teammate just died. Your friend on B just didn't get any kill. And when you turn, that's when this guy has a timing to kill you for free. And the only reason is that you're giving this first room them for free. Why do they know that it's free? Because you are mollying here. So a CT would not be mollying here if he's like trying to fight for it. And the way you fight for it is to throw like a molly and HE to deny them while they're running up here. So that combo is going to win you so much Elo or Premiere rating in this case. On map like Ancient. It's literally must-known thing. If you want to improve, if you want to farm some easy wins on this map. But we need to stop using grenades coming out of this smoke. It's crazy. Double molly is the same position. You failed an HE there. Okay, you smoke it, which is I guess better than using that molly, but still, you're once again giving away free estate to them. And this is on you, by the way. You should have known about this MAC-10. Your teammate is spamming. You know that the guy is already close. He shot at your teammate, and you kind of like completely ignored him, and you lost the round on the spot. That was not great. I don't like this. Alright, getting at least one before your teammate gets a chance to swing was pretty good attempt, in my opinion. Also, I like how you stayed stuck, so that was a good decision, but obviously 2v4. That was unlikely that you are going to win this. Yep. You cannot really do that. 40 HP for nothing. That's a good molly that you don't need to necessarily know on T side, but it will help you again if you're especially B player and you started like this a lot of the times. So the molly that burns here, you throw it from here while running. Here now I'm wondering, like, you are kind of good at holding angles. Why do you just not strafe right now? Why are we stationary? Why are we hugging this wall at all costs? Because you're just getting cleared. Like, the guy is just going to clear you like that. You don't have Kevlar. You need to create some sort of advantage for you. And that advantage is you peeking and maybe peeking him at the exact timing that he's walking into you. And that's you're the one peeking him instead of, you know, being peeked. So I don't see why we're not using these micro strafes in this position. Are you afraid you're gonna get exposed, or you don't like to do it next to the wall because you think it's useless? No, just move away a little bit from the wall, and then you still do AD. And that's how you played with SMGs. You gotta move. You have to press those buttons. That's your main advantage. You're gonna be super accurate while running. So you have to move. Alright, we don't know the mid elbow smoke. I noticed it already, but that's just not for your level right now. Again, 1-for-1 is the best you could have hoped for, honestly. Again, this little chicken guy is completely unaware that you're going to be going up there. He's focused on cave. It's not a good peak. I'm going to be telling you again, it's just way too volatile, and going 1-for-1 is actually great, but people on better level will just stomp you on that, okay? Alright, let's see. Again, your A duel. Did you have a best spawn? Was that the reason? Second to best spawn. You still go for the same peak, aiming at the exact same position. So this is something you like doing, apparently. But it's fine. I don't mind it. Alright, 2v4. Your teammate actually bought you insane timing here that you can easily play. You're not going to be... Luckily, he misses the shot there. Alright. Okay, you somehow brought it back. 2v4 at match point. Wow. But it was all on your teammate, honestly. Doing the same peak again. We saw him, actually. Let's see how this goes. Wasted HE. Alright, this is important. They just planted the bomb on B, but you saw the lurker, like, couple seconds ago, and you know that you're going to be closer to this B side than him through this rotation, right? So right now, if you go for like a fast retake, you can come to your teammates like, guys, there are only 2 on side, because you know that one guy is somewhere else on the map, and he's irrelevant for upcoming, like, let's say 20 seconds, right? So playing fast here is actually beneficial in my opinion, and your teammates are doing exactly that. They're already retaking. I like that. Okay, you actually clear out the lurker. Very good. Okay. This was great. I mean, everyone's dead. You don't need to be paranoid here. Let's focus on the overtime. Let's see how this one goes. So in Premiere, 15-15. That's the end of the match, and it's a tie. We have only 1 overtime. Okay, immediately on the boost. Interesting. I also want to suggest to you to not buy head kevlar on the first round of overtime, because everyone will have AKs and ops. You're not going to... That head kevlar is not going to save you, while you get to save $350 in-game currency. Here, great. AD. But look where your crosshair is on the A strafe. In the wall. Like, right now, terrorist speaks you, he's still in advantage. Even though you're ADing, because you're not overcompensating with your crosshair. You see that? You see that, right? Like, when you're in the strafe motion, great. But if someone peeks you exactly at the wrong moment, you're dead despite that. Move your mouse in synergy with your strafes with your keystrokes on your keyboard. It's the same thing here for like 30 seconds. Okay, they're actually coming your way, and you have a pretty good chance here. Okay. Luckily, this guy just completely ignores the possibility of this. Now you kill an A lurker, A main lurker. And if the rounds, late rounds are like this are happening, it's very usual, very common that there's only one guy somewhere in A main. And then there are like the rest. Sometimes it's 2 alive, sometimes 3 alive. In this case, it's 4 alive. The rest is going to come from Donut, okay? So in this case, it's 3, and the 4th guy is in red room. However, what I want to say, if you kill this guy first, drop down and use A main as a perfect afterplan position. Just drop down and play inside A main and be a nuisance. Just survive. They're going to be extremely afraid to plant. All these positions are going to be covered from A main, or like you can't see it. So they're going to be paranoid, while it allows your teammates to move forward, right? Through either temple or through CT, sometimes even flank them through donut, because they're going to be hyper focused on you because you're still alive. Sometimes they don't even know if you're here or you're here. You being alive in A main on these A hits through donut is the best tip I can do for Ancient to counter A splits as an A player, okay? Meanwhile, what you did is to peek donut, and now look how they completely disregard this part of the map. They're only going to be focusing on CT and probably temple in some time. However, if you would be alive, they're probably going to even rotate back to B. That's how uncomfortable they would be of finishing this round. Interesting. All right, first round lost on the overtime. We're getting close. Okay, we're just pushing. This is crazy. Somehow it works. That is crazy push. Get out! Oh no. Okay, you got blocked there, but you still had a lot of chances to just go back. This is absolutely wild, by the way. What just happened? The guy just... Listen. This guy just ignored him so he can flank everyone, but he doesn't understand that he appeared on the radar. And this guy immediately notices, oh, someone is on the radar, let me kill this guy. Holy moly, this guy gave you information without being at a PC. I've never seen that happen. Alright, they actually smoked heaven. Wild. Okay, now I don't mind this peak or like going up here because you're covered. Okay? Like you can actually play around that smoke and it's fine. Okay, now 30 HP, go back. Give up this middle. You don't need it. 4v3. Your teammate will stay here. You're both low HP actually. This is a good decision to fall back. Somehow support your teammate as well. Okay, block of cave for him. Not bad.
Smoke down. Flashbang. Throwing flashbang.
That molly is going to be clutch that you're still having.
Throwing fire.
Okay, you just threw it away.
I'm throwing smoke. Throwing flashbang.
You have to bait for your teammate somehow. Shoot. Now shooting would be insane. Just shooting. You don't need to peek, okay? Just shooting. Will create timing for your teammate here in Ninja, and then when he shoots, that's when you go through the smoke. Overall, pretty good game from you, actually. 25 kills already. Let's see how it goes for the last part of the overtime. You are doing again this mid play. We have already talked about this, okay? We've already talked about this, how you should be denying these nades on middle. It's costing you a lot of damage, honestly. And you're not killing these people that are unaware in the middle of nowhere as well. It happened third time now, so just please underhand those smokes. Sorry, I have to find you. So number 7. Okay, I don't see the point of that smoke at all. That's crazy. You should have died there. This was really bad. Like you're just W gameplay rushing into cave, which is such a CT-sided position because these CTs, they can be anywhere. They can be peeking you here, 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 here. You're going through the smoke, through the narrowest choke point in the game, and it actually cost your teammate a life because the enemy was shooting at you and he accidentally dinked and killed the guy behind you. So if he double kills you there, you're losing this game on the spot, I should say, okay? Somehow, wow, somehow that happened. Mints in the 1v3, almost. But I don't like some of your decisions. Obviously it's overtime and things are getting a little bit more chaotic, but you still have to make decisions. And actually the key to winning these kind of close games is to not rush and play fast. It's to slow down and capitalize on their mistakes. Alright, again, these flashes, it's not blinding anyone. You already threw both of your flashes. Look where this guy is. Your teammates are not even going out with it. This guy did not, even if he wouldn't be dodging the second flash, he's not getting blind at all. Okay, luckily your teammates are actually killing him. But he should have been blinded from... Okay. There's no point putting out that molly really in the open. You can just wait it out. You can just go around it. It doesn't really matter. Now you're being stopped. Don't go through. No. Again, terrible, okay? Your teammates somehow are getting kills, but it's a bad, right now, 2v2. It's going to be post-plant. I don't like it. I don't like the way how you're risking and you're just playing fast and W gameplay in these tight matches where, like, on the T side, you were actually outplaying them whenever you played slow. Why are we going so fast? And right now, well, nothing that you could have done there. You just got flanked, but... Oh, no. And you actually lose the game as well, on top of that. That's GG's, but there were a lot of things that we discussed here, so I hope you enjoyed it. There are a lot of concepts, especially AD strafes, overcompensate with mouse. Utility on T side, pretty poor. The timings of it and the way you're just kind of taking middle, pretty poor as well. Some clutches that you were like kind of taking where there's another thing where like you're not really like confident in sometimes in your duels, in your peaks, not necessarily in clutches only, but on those mid takes which we discussed as well at the beginning. And then on CT side, if you're a cave player, you gotta learn the combo for highway with the molly and HE. You don't want to waste it in the first room in the cheetah, like you're doing right now, because you're just giving away way too much space. And if you're middle and you're going to fight heaven, don't do it like you're doing. Okay, you are essentially very easy target whenever you're climbing these Tetris boxes, how we call them, on middle. And even though you got a lot of kills in this game, I think a lot of the kills that you've gotten should have been just straight up deaths, and that creates like a misalignment of your true skill and your statistics in this game. Because you might look at this game and you're like, wow, I actually did like 30 frags and I had pretty good KD and I was on top of the scoreboard. But honestly, you were doing a lot of mistakes that did not only cost you like the rounds, but ultimately the whole game as well. And you could have easily played better, and this would have been a win in regulation, not even in the overtime. So there's it's definitely a good game to review, because some games you're just having no chance and you're getting stormed, and that's fine. Those happen to everyone, to me, to the pro players, to everyone. But there are games which you can influence, and in this case, you didn't do good enough. Even though maybe scoreboard tells you did fairly good. There were a lot of moments where you could have done way better, and this would have been plus 200 rating for your Premiere, and not minus 300. Okay, so food for thought, and thank you for booking a session. Hope you enjoyed this.